Okay, I got that software back there together, and I think it might have been written by a Commodore 64 programmer, basic, I don't know. It's really sad. That was for the epever controller that I've been working on. The other two UPS should be here any moment. I have not seen the other two yet, and I'll come back here in a few minutes and run over that software with you. But it really doesn't give you much to do. I mean, currently, right at the moment, I don't know what this thing's doing. The dog is in the way, or I would walk back there. But the solar batteries on a totally sunny day, I got 13.74 volts, and it's kind of fluctuating a little bit, and 9 amps going in. So what it's doing right now is putting in what the batteries are taking out. So it almost equals out about 15 amps, roughly right in that area. It almost equals out what the batteries are putting in or being used at to what the solar to batteries is doing. So I've got to figure out if this might have something on it somewhere that says the batteries are charged or not charged or being charged or something. But the software itself is horrid for the PC. As a matter of fact, for the Android or the Apple, it's horrid. They could do better. They could definitely do better. So it gives you a few options. I put in my total battery capacity. I'm assuming that that's what it's asking for. The instructions are more of a description of the software than it is instructions. It doesn't give you any real information. But I put in my battery capacity as 740 amps each. That's for a pair at 12 volts. It gives you the option of turning up the backlight. It gives you two different IDs. It logs. It doesn't log. Let's not say that. But it gives you the option to describe what you have. Describe your solar panels. Gives you some notes. But none of that appears to be anything that's going to actually affect the overall usage or charge quality or anything like that. It gives you the option to operate the load. It gives you lots of information on the load. You can set this time and set that time. You can turn it from Fahrenheit to centigrade. And the battery type, flooded, whatever. It gives you some options in there also for lithium batteries. And I don't know if it works with lithium batteries, but that's what it gives you. The software is literally horrid, and setting up it is even worse. I can't find the second cable. I'm hoping I didn't send it back with the rest of the stuff, but I can't find it. I thought I put everything right here or right there, and I can't find it. So a pretty good chance I may have sent it back with the other stuff. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't work. You have to have a separate COM port for each unit. So if you tell this thing to operate off of COM port 1 or COM port 3, I've got them set up for 3, and you set up another controller, it has to be on COM port 4. Like I say, the instructions are horrible. I don't even know if that's right, but that's the way it looks. That's the way it appears. I like the controllers. I do like the controllers. They seem decent. They seem to be working okay. But I'd like more information. Well, you know, the instructions are trash. The software is garbage. I'd like more information. If they want to, say, describe the function, to say that this is doing this or that is doing that, and why it's doing that, that would be far, far, far better than just set plan A to plan B. It doesn't work that way. The little, where's it at? Let me walk back in here, trip over the dogs. The little instruction manual, let me turn that radio off.
I haven't found anything on.
The little instruction manual for the remote meter is actually better than the user manual. Let's not go there. But that's where I'm at. I'll come back in here in a little bit after those other controllers come in, and we'll go over what the software can and can't do. Pain in the butt, but what the heck? If we're gonna live off grid, we got a lot of pains in the butts. I'll plug this back in. I don't know why. I don't really need that plugged in. But anyhow, back to work. I'm gonna set these two panels up for series. It's gonna take just a minute. Let's see, set this down here for the moment. I'm gonna cut this tape off. Okay. The tape's kind of a pain. It's windy out here, so I hope you can hear me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure that any of this is going to be long enough. That's a problem. I'm going to have to go in and get a jumper. I should have a jumper pre-made. So, go in and get that. Go around the other side and see if those are long enough. I started putting together a brace for the house, for the wind, and that ain't gonna work. I can do it probably easier over here. Yeah, I think so. Alright, let me, it'd be nice if I could set this here. Try that again. Move a few things. Get myself out here. Something to stand on, because I'm too short for this shit. It doesn't matter which one you use. Okay, so this one's black. So I want to take, that's a negative. I'm lost. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some more work. I'll be back. And it's hooked up. So I'll come back out here and put my brackets back up. And I have a thing in my pocket for the other end of the house. So this is the east, and this is the west. You can see how that block is all hooked up. So I need to disconnect all 4 of those and figure out which one has current. That's all there is to it. So 2 of them are going to have voltage and 2 of them are going to not. And I'll put an end on the ones that do not, or a cap, and just set those aside because I'm going to reuse them. I have plans. So back door, got the new ones. Turn this down a little bit. The Ancient Aliens. These are packaged differently, but they still have, well, they don't have. They're missing the, if it ain't one thing or another, it's probably in this box. Yep, okay, there's the cable. There's the mounting stuff. Alright. I don't think I'm really going to need this or this, so I'm going to put it back in the box because I'll lose it. Alright, I'm going to get these installed. I'll be back. 7 o'clock, so I'm not going to be able to test them tonight. I'll be back. Okay, there's that. Everything's hooked up and ready to rock and roll if the sun ever comes out again. You know, we are using up all the sun's energy with all these solar panel things, and it's going to start getting cold any time now. Missing a nut right there. Gotta put it in. Gonna run a ground from here up to this nut and over to here. It's got a ground tab on it, might as well put it to use. So I'm not going to have room. I'm going to be putting 2 more in, but I don't really want to put them in over those wires. So I don't see it anywhere. Huh. I'm going to take the secondary controllers and mount them here and here. I might have to move this a little bit, but I'll put the secondary controllers here so that they're visible and can be seen. There's supposed to be a lot more information that you can do with those, but I haven't messed with them enough to know. I have the USB hooked up right there, or rather the Wi-Fi thing. I want to log into this one and see what it says after I played with it today. And I'll have to set these 2 up the same way, and it is a bear. I'm not kidding about the software. I've not seen software that bad in a while. You would think that once you had a COM port set, you could work on all of them. In fact, the technology's there. Why don't they come up with something you just wire all of them together so that they all share the same information as far as setup and stuff like that goes. It's goofy. But anyhow, I'm done playing. I'm going to eat. I think I'll have DiGiorno. Alright, see y'all. This is what I'm talking about. This software. No matter what you do, it's going to come up with an error over here on Ancho It's all set up exactly the way it's supposed to be. COM ports and everything. I've tried a dozen different COM ports. Go down here to COM settings and you can click on read, and it always comes up with COM 5 occupied by other software. Always. No matter what you do, or it'll come up down here and say timed out down here in the dialog box. So there's nothing you can do to make this software work. The help, if you look at the help screen, can't reach this page. It comes up with an introduction. That is the extent of the introduction. Compilation name, blah, blah, blah. Nothing worth, no help. Operating hardware, recommended memory, tells you what it'll run on, how to install it, blah blah. It's just nothing here that's useful. Nothing is useful here. So there's not much you can do. It gives you a little bit on the monitoring and what it does, but as far as setting it up, you're on your own. About a printer, system maintenance, there's just nothing in there that's useful. So I don't know what to do as far as this goes. I kind of need, it worked with those two, but I can't even get it to see that one or that one. It's not even helping. And it was a bear. I had to actually delete this and assign each of those its own COM port. That's 3 and 4. That one I set up as 5, and I can't get it to talk. So that's the only way I could get these to work. And now I can't get it to work at all. You go into the device manager as it requests you to do there. Null parity, update, blah blah. It just doesn't work. You go down here to ports and LTP setup. It brings up the proper, it says it's working properly. All of everything that it needs there. Dial-up support. It even has dial-up support. This is a old, kind of a garbage software, to tell you the truth. They need to fix it, because I personally like to be able to use it, and we paid for this. It's just not worth the time. So I'm going to shut that off and disconnect it and get one of my boxes out and see if I can hook it up that way. I need to get into that one and set them up, but it's not working out very well for that. Ancient Aliens is really interesting tonight, but it's over. I missed it. So, backdoor, considerable argument and fighting with this thing. I finally figured it out. Up here, and let's see, I get my mouse to move. Right here, let's see if I can get it to stop monitoring. Stop monitor. Right here, there is a button that selects the different units, so I can add 1 and 2 into this. But you, for each parameter, when you go to the parameters, you have to select that 4, 3. If you don't do it, what you end up with is this little dot right here, and it won't read anything. Don't really like this software much, but it's all I've got. So I've got them totally set up. I'm going to unplug it. Well, yeah, I'm going to unplug it and hook this one back up. Everything's hooked up the way it should be. Tomorrow I'll set up 1 and 2 and maybe go over the software a little bit more with you. But there's a lot you can do with the software that you can't do any other way that I've found. So it's kind of cool, but it's been an aggravation getting it to work. So I'm going to get out of this and go to bed. I don't want to be up until 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's what that looks like. The light in here is not that great, and each one of them is about the same. And I'll see how this all works tomorrow, how it all works out. But I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody. Good morning. I came in this morning and was watching all of this while it started to charge. And it did start to charge kind of slowly. We're showing everything appears to be working at the moment. I need to label these and get everything going. We're charging right now at 14 amps and only 12.49 volts. This is really confusing the way the thing works, and I've given up on the software. I'm just gonna delete it. I came in this morning. It was working last night when I went to bed, and I came in this morning and it wouldn't work. It would not connect to anything. It says when you try to use it that the port is in use. Then, well, no, it didn't say the port was in use. It said the port did not exist. So I deleted everything and put in a new COM port, and now it won't connect to anything again. I'm just surrendering on the software. I've got all this working. If I have to make changes, I'll come in here and I'll fight with the software, but I've given up on it for now. I'm just frustrated. I found a little bit of information in the setup file. It's hidden away down at the bottom of one of the installation files. And that told me that if this cable is one thing, then do another. And I did all that, and it was right to start with. Everything's been done right as far as I can tell. But you have to make sure that your label is the same as the label in the controller. So you set the controller up first. Oh, it's a mess. I don't even want to talk about it. But anyhow, we're getting 15 amps now. It's slowly climbing. There's a few things that are confusing, like I say. And I think I'm going to have to make a couple of changes, which means I'm going to have to fight with the software to do it. So, I don't know if I recommend these or not. So far, I kind of like the controller, but I don't like this software. I mean, you buy the thing because you want the software, and the software sucks big green donkey dicks in hell. So, but we're starting to charge, getting a little bit of voltage there. I might do a little bit of cleanup in here. I need to go get some cement. I'm going to wait a couple hours before I leave, but I need to go get some cement. I had a bad dream the other night that the house blew away. And what had happened was we had that giant 100-mile-an-hour wind the other day, and it had split the house. This is where the two houses join. It had split the house and actually opened it up here to where you could see. I didn't even notice it. I mean, I walk around the house and I didn't notice it in this dream. And then I get around the backyard and I look, and this section of the house is missing. And it's like, oh no. Well, it had pulled the house away from each other. And this section of the house, this wall was gone, just totally missing. And I didn't even notice it when I drove up. But that was a dream, thank goodness. So, I'm going to let baby out. This is going to be a pain. But here he goes, running for the car. I got to get in the car. Let me in the car. That's my car. I want in. Let's go on this side, baby. He'll stay in there all day. But what I did was I came out here yesterday before I realized my cement was no good. I drilled this hole all the way down to, I could hear voices down there, it was so deep. And bolting that pole to the wall. I'm going to do 2 of them there. 2 of them in the center and 2 of them on the ends. It's anchored already. I put a bunch of anchors in. But just want to be safe, I guess. That's what dreams do. Alright, back to work. I'm going to end this one here in the next segment. I can't think of anything else to put in it. You all have fun now. Oh boy. Move, guys. Come on, move. Alright. Our voltages, it was up to 70 amps. It's dropping slowly on the solar to chargers. The wind, we're using 8 amps. This was actually up over 1,000 watts. It was well over about 1,100 watts, I think it was, when it was at its peak charge. And 1.3 amps on DC. So it seems like it's working. That's the number 2, which is roof panels. This is number 1, which is roof panels. 38 amps it says. It's right on the edge of the 40 amp mark. It hasn't gone over 38 that I've seen. This is the west. We don't have any sun on the west yet. And this is the east. I think we've seen all the sun we're going to get on the east. So it's working. They're warm to the touch, but they're not hot. I sit there and hold it all day long. I might get a little PC fan or something and put in here. A little 12-volt PC fan might be a good idea. Help keep them cool. But that's where I'm at. Everything seems to be working. This is the overall peak voltage is dropping slowly. That's just what it did yesterday. I'm going to hang around here for about another 30 or 40 minutes and keep an eye on it. And then I have to go to town and get some cement. But kind of having fun. I'll take another video of it here shortly. I'm disappointed in the software. I did not give this 5 stars on Amazon. back to work. Okay, I have been watching this for quite a while, and the amperage is dropping. It's down to 44 amps. I got 14.53 volts, 650 watts coming out of the panels. The sun is not quite overhead, but it almost is. What I'm going to do is apply a really high amperage to the everything. I got my, what is that, oatmeal in there. So we're going to walk back in here and see what it's doing. Yep. Okay, so that jumped it back up to 73 amps and 1,000 watts, 80 amps, 81 amps. So the current on the 110 is 99 amps according to that, and back up to 75 amps, 80 amps. So when I get all the panels on, I ought to be able to run my air conditioner just off the solar panels and not really take anything at all off the batteries. That would be good. That would give me more nighttime current. So we'll wait until that quits working in there. I like doing this. This is fun. Now, you want to make sure that, touch all of your, after you're done, make sure that there's nothing getting hot. Something that nobody ever goes over is when you cut your wires, when you trim them, you want to make sure that there's no plastic underneath the screw, because that'll create a hot spot. You should be almost done. But 85 amps on the solar batteries. I can hear that wind generator out there. I'm tempted to take the thing down. It doesn't do nothing. 0.7 amps and all that noise. There, we dropped off to 22, and this is still at 80. So that should start falling again. There it goes. It's on its way down. Okay, down to 14 on the 110 and 56 on the solar batteries. That's how it's supposed to work. That's a good thing. Okay, I'm going to go eat my oatmeal. Hey, I'm back from town. I got the cement and finished fastening the building down on that one side. And I got some more pea gravel and put it out on the driveway. Then I walked the fence line, made sure it wasn't shorted anywhere, which it wasn't. And I put a couple of toroids on the power leads to the coils on my truck and tested it, and it made a little bit of a difference so far, I think. The solar is doing really well, actually. We're at 13.4 volts. Number 4 is east, it's not charging. Number 2 is the roof, and I've got 4.4 amps on that. And west, I'm only doing 2.5 amps. And the other roof, I'm doing 1.2 amps. Might want to check that one out next time I'm down here and make sure it's okay. I'm sure it is, but it doesn't hurt to check them. But this is it. I'm going to get this here video published. Sorry about the rants on the software, but it pisses me off. And I also found out there is no software at this time, apparently, for Android. So if you have an Android phone, you buy these things and you expect to use the app, forget it. You might just watch the website and see if they ever do come back with one. I don't know what's going on, but there is no software for Android. So, back to work. I'm going to take off tomorrow, I think. I have a doctor's appointment with the VA, so got to get that out of the way. You know how it is. I'm also going to pick up some solar panels from Solar Wholesale in Jordan, Utah. So anyhow, I'll talk to you later.